It's just like, oh my God, gonna work so good. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to show you what I had going on in here in my photo area. I've noticed a few questions that I've gotten on some of my past videos about how I photo and where I'm photoing, what I'm using. So I figured I'd kind of walk you through that because I'm about to change this whole thing I got going on over here. The only reason I want to update it is because I feel like I can really get through my photoing a lot faster and make it a lot more streamlined just by doing a few basic things that I just keep putting off because I've not been wanting to spend any money on it. I'm at the point where now I want to spend some money on it and I want to do this a little bit easier. So I will show you what I'm talking about. This is pretty much my entire workspace. Right here behind me is so you have an idea of where I'm at in my room. This whole corner is where I do all my photoing. This is my rack of all the things I need to photo, and those are all listed and just too bulky for me to put in my inventory. The lights I got from an Ollie's that's just down the road. I think I maybe paid $20 a piece for these. They were great for the time being, but then I upgraded to these here, which I got on Amazon, and I got a set of them. I think they were $80. I finally paid up and did that, and what do you know? That one doesn't work right. Probably 3 weeks after using it. I'm hoping it's just the bulb and it just needs a switch on that and it'll be fine because I'd really, really liked the light that these put off. So I'm hoping that works out and it's not a total loss on that light completely. But I want to show you again what I'm working with, and this is how I photo my items in the current state that I'm in. I have a fishing line that I hang up here from that hook, and I hang this so it hangs more in the center of this not particle board, what do you call this? Foam board. I'll show you what I have back here. It is chintzy as all get out, but it's what I use. It's just one of these insulation boards, and that was my white, what do you call that? Whatever. I used to photo on that, but it was too smooth and my clothes were sliding down, especially when I was doing long sleeves. I like to prop my sleeves up a little bit on the side and hold them up. And with this material, it helps me do that when it's kind of at an angle. I do all the photoing here front, and then I just do a quick, because of the fishing line, I can just flip it over to the back super fast, and I'll get the back and the measurements all right here without having to move it all to a table or do anything like that. So it's all in all pretty easy, but I want to be able to have a space where I can photo my pants, these skirts, shirts, and long dresses. And I can't do my dresses because it's not quite long enough and I'm having to resituate, maybe move everything over here along this wall, get my width and height because it's just not long enough and I have to stand it up straight. I don't like it. So I've got it propped up on this old wooden stool that I have. It is, like I said, super chintzy, guys, but this is what I've been doing. That is my trash can. I use that, and that's my little desk that I keep here. If it works, why mess with it? But this does not. So I have plans to do a full turn on all this. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put it on this wall and move this rack. I'm just kind of shifting. And I'm gonna pull it along this wall and get these hard goods, maybe where the steamer is. This is some of my older lighting that I was super cheap. I don't even remember where I got those. Those were my very first set of lights. And I might even throw up a screenshot if I can find it of my very first photo area I had set up down here. I've come a long way, but I'm gonna maybe move that stuff and hide it in there. Maybe we'll see when my husband notices that I did that or not, but that's kind of his hangout space that he's at. I will come back once I get this shifted around and maybe be able to explain a little bit better of what I'm doing. While it's in my eyesight, hey guys, getting closer to the goal. If you haven't already, please consider liking and subscribing. All right, so the real struggle for me and why I really want to move this space is because when I'm photoing and I've got all this stuff right here at my elbows, and sometimes these lights I'm knocking things over now and bumping lights, and I've got all these cords. It's just kind of a mess. I want to make this whole thing a little bit wider so that I can be able to post my photos without having to crop and edit that way, especially when I'm doing my longer dresses that usually hang down the bottom. And that's why I can't really use this very well, because when they hang across this part, the dress goes here and then it folds flat and it doesn't look nice in my photos. And those are super important when doing your listings. Sometimes people don't even read any of the descriptions. All they do is check the photos and move on. So super important that I do those really well. So I'll get back to you after I have done the shift. Ta-da! I don't know if this comes across in the video the same way it does in person, but oh my gosh, I feel like I can breathe in here. It's just like, oh my God, this feels so good. Oh man, over here in this area, I feel like when I'm taking these photos, I'm not elbow to elbow with clothes over here and more crap over here. So this already just feels so much nicer. I was constantly trying to get things off of this rack to either steam or photo, or if they sold, pull them from there. And with all my lights and photo stuff in front of it, it was a nuisance and I couldn't get to it. So I'll be able to easily get what I need off of there and be photoing. All my stuff's here. And this is, even now though, I want to reiterate, this is just a band-aid still, because the next part of this video, I'm gonna try to add to it. Once I'm officially done, I've chatted with my husband and he's gonna help me with this. I've got that insulation board that I showed you on the back, and I'm going to maybe try to add an extra piece to this to make it a little wider so that it maybe come all the way out to the rest of this material. So maybe another 6 inches wider, and support it with maybe some wood pieces, like just simple small 2-inch wood pieces along the back to support it, and fix it to the wall kind of permanently with a hinge. This is all experimental. I've never seen anybody do this, but I'm gonna try it. So I'll be able to fold it out at an angle like this. I don't know if you can tell from here, but I've got this at a bit of an angle so my pieces sit on there and don't slide around. But when I need it to be straight up and down, for when I put Judy here, this is her name, is Judy. When I use her to put dresses on, I need this flush against the wall in order for me to do that. And so all I'll need to do is I'll have a little piece back there that keeps it propped up and just hinge it back down so it's flat against the wall, and I'll be able to do it so much easier. But I officially feel like I've got it figured out, and I'm willing now to put a permanent spot for my photos over here in my corner. Again, I just want you guys to feel the openness of my space. It feels so much better. Next, after I make enough money, guess what's getting done? I'm getting new floors. It's gonna happen. I want no more of this carpet. All right, guys, next part. It's gonna be done. See you then. I may or may not have overcomplicated my whole setup initially, but luckily I have a husband who keeps me grounded and gracefully helped me understand that it was just too much what I was initially planning on doing. So he kept it simple, and I will show you what I ended up doing with my photo area. Okay, what do you guys think? I've got down to just my 2 lights now. It's not necessary for me to have my other ones that I had set up. Luckily, it wasn't the actual light that was broken. It was just the bulb, and I ended up going to Lowe's, and it was a little bit of a blessing in disguise, because I just switched out both lights to these right here, and they're a better light. They should have a longer lifespan. They're giving off the exact same light. I don't have to mess with the dimming and brightening. They're perfect. So that is done, that's set up, and it saves me a ton more space just having the 2 light stands. What we ended up doing is I kept my particle board, this insulation board, and what my husband did for me was just attached an extra piece at the bottom so it was longer, and I can just keep it leaned up against my back wall easy enough, because he supported it with a piece of wood and some tape and glued it to the back to keep that supported, and I shouldn't have to maneuver this too much more. So that's what it's gonna look like with my shirts. It's perfect, it's wide enough, I'm not gonna be cropping anything. And then I'll just grab a dress and show you guys. So what I'm showing you is now I can take pictures of my dresses, and it'll have more than enough length and width. Ideally, it's hard to show in a video, but I will do these in square, and I won't have to be cropping. And I can do it all from right here. And again, I can put my good friend Judy, who chills with me, in front of it. It'll be great. So I will show you a little bit of how I do my photos on my clothing items so you guys can get a little bit of a better understanding. All right, I'm gonna show you guys on an old iPhone. This thing is probably 8 years old. I don't normally photo with this one. I usually use the one I'm recording with, but I want you guys to have a good video. So I'm gonna do that and then show you with the screen recording on here what it looks like when I'm taking my photos. So we're gonna do this sweater first. I'm gonna first put it into square. That's the format you wanna use when photoing for most online platforms, but eBay does have it set up for square. So I'm just gonna do a front. I'm gonna get tag. I'll measure the length. Get a quick photo of the pit-to-pit measurement and any details that you want to. This has a National Wildlife Federation and a date of 1989, so I really want to get a close-up of that, and I'll get a little bit closer up of the image on the front of the sweater. I will flip it and get the back. Get my sleeve looking a little better. There we go. I'll do a dress for you real quick just to give you one more example of my photo area of how that works now with my dresses. Normally in the past with my dresses, I've had to again resituate this where I'm having to now slide it back to get it a little more upright and then resituate the bottom because the length wasn't there. So guys, this is the first time I'm doing this, so I'm hoping it works out as I had planned. Let's see, let me get it set up here. All right, first thing, when I get items, I always want to take a picture of the price tag so I know how much I paid for it as I'm doing it. And that way, when I'm inputting it into my software that I use to track all this, it's right there with the photo and I can do that all at once and I don't lose track of my inventory. All right, so I did that. Oh, beautiful, guys. This is gonna work so good. All right, I got my main photo. With dresses, I do a pretty similar thing as my tops. I get a pit-to-pit, and I'll go ahead and get a waist measurement on dresses as well. And then the length, obviously can't use a yardstick, so I keep this here by my side. And I'll get the length, get a picture of the tag again. Let's see if this has a materials tag in here. And I want to grab that too. Wonderful. And then I'll do one more close-up because I want to make sure they notice the bands around the sleeve. It's a nice accent. Get a picture of the logo here on the back. This is a lot easier on my newer phone. There we go. And then, oh, this is so nice. I don't think you guys realize. I have been, I'm excited. I might actually start looking up dresses again and picking them up now that it's going to be as easy as this for me to do that. All right, and it's pretty much the same thing with pants, guys. I just get the waist measurement, the rise, and the inseam of pants, but I'm doing the same thing. I'm getting the front, the back, any things I want to point out as far as logos or cool stitching or distressing, or also you want to make sure you point on any flaws. Instead of using my finger, I'll use a pen to point those out. Just feel like it's a little nicer than looking at my fingers, and I'm always paranoid about how nasty my nails look. So I don't do that. I hope that was helpful for you guys and you enjoyed seeing my setup and rearranging my basement, and let me know what you guys think, how it turned out. Thanks for watching. I'm back. Another little tidbit of information I wanted to share with you guys too that I was thinking about was I'll do a bunch of dresses and get in a groove and do my dresses. I'll get in a groove and I'll do my pants and shirts. It just helps to get a routine when you're doing your photos as far as just step-by-step same thing until you move to the next item, and it's the same steps as far as your measurements and all that goes. It's just kind of helpful. I just hope I'm sharing all the information that you guys need. If you have any other questions, again, please feel free to leave some comments below. I'm happy to answer them. Help make this a fun and exciting adventure for everyone. Okay, guys, I don't know, so if in that, I felt like there was something else. Okay, guys.